We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.
Time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. And in us having relationships, sometimes we don't talk about how difficult it is to handle grief. And that's what we're going to be unpacking this time around. And to do that, I have Jane O with me. She's a mom, a dentist, and an investor. We're going to be talking about how to support a grieving parent without trying to fix their pain. Welcome, Jane.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Why this topic though? What's your connection or what sparked the interest in this topic?
I lost my son 8 years ago. He
Okay.
died in a daycare, and it's something that every parent fears is losing their child.
Mm-hmm.
And often the world moves on, and
Yeah.
for parents like us, we're always kind of stuck there, that moment. And people think like, oh, well, you're not over it by now. We've even heard that, like, oh, you're not over it by now. I think what people don't understand is grief isn't the problem. It's not something to be fixed. Grief is love, and you should honor that love that you had. I'm never going to get over losing my child because he was a deep extension of me. He's deeply woven into me,
Mm-hmm.
and I will love him until the day I die. So, I'm not saying that I'm bitter about my sadness. I think that you transform as the years go
Mm.
on. Your pain changes. It's not gonna always be sharp, but I think people are uncomfortable with approaching you about it because I hear this a lot. You're so strong. And I'll tell you
Mm.
why I don't like that phrase, because I didn't have a choice. I didn't have the choice but to live my life, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when someone tells you that, it makes you feel even lonelier because it's like they're kind of keeping you at a distance, even though they don't mean to,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it feels that way, right? Because they're telling you you're strong enough to do this on your own. Um, and I get it because our society is not comfortable with sitting with uncomfortableness.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So he gave us a context. So how then for somebody who will listen and watch this, how do they support a grieving parent? How?
You mean how?
Yeah, how then are we then saying to people that you
Oh,
should support a grieving parent without trying to fix their pain? How?
um, it's just sitting there and saying, I don't know what you're going through. Like, I don't know
Okay.
your pain, but I'm willing to sit here and cry with you. I'm willing to just sit here in silence and witness your grief because grief needs to be witnessed. We don't need a silver lining, you know? We don't even want a silver lining. I mean, it's what's done is done, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
when somebody has a loss, not even like child loss, but like you lose a parent, like, you even lose a dog, I could say I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here. I'm here in your presence. Like I'm present for you. It's not like what can I do for you? Like just call me if you need anything. See, that doesn't work either because that's putting the burden on us.
Okay. 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 I liked what you said, the whole idea of sit. Do you think because more often than not, a lot of persons are not accustomed to just being still
Yes.
because of, a lot of things you're juggling, Do you think that's probably part of the problem sometimes why it's hard that even with the best of intention, when somebody's grieving, it's hard for somebody to actually sit? And if so, then what do you think can be done to change that?
Well, I think that our society is set up in a way that everything has a timeline. You
Mm,
know, okay? We live in a scheduled, structured society, and it's really hard for people to grasp like this can't be fixed, you know? Um, so I think just to educate yourself and to maybe place yourself in somebody else's shoes,
mm,
I think would really help because, it's, yeah, it's just, it's really hard because when you haven't experienced, it's like asking for direction from somebody who's never left their home.
mm. Yeah, love the analogy. I like the fact that you said that as if there's a timeline, and one of the things you said earlier was the fact that people are saying if you're still not over it.
Yeah. And I asked them, well, how long is my child going to be dead for?
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Why do you think it is so difficult to sometimes for people even talk about grief? Because I think it's one of the topics that we don't talk about enough.
No, we don't. I think it's because you're testing your own fragility in life. You're finally being confronted with that, right? It's like I never thought about death until it approached me in the closest way that it has ever happened. It's when your child dies, it's like part of you have died.
Hmm.
And I think when someone is confronted with that, it's scary, right? And you almost think, what if that happens to me? And people keep that distance as well because they feel like it could soak into their life or it's so horrific like they don't it's almost like it's contagious like they want
Hmm.
to keep that distance from you. So I think that's why our society is not comfortable, and losing a child is there's a stigma around that because your child is not supposed to die before you.
For you, right.
Yeah.
Hmm. What are some of the lessons you've learned though from this? And I ask that because I have said to people, because I lost both my parents, and I've
Mm,
said to people, it's not something you get over. You
no,
just learn to live with it and you learn to
exactly.
cope. So,
Yeah.
what
I
are some of
learned,
the, go ahead.
yeah. I think what I learned is that I carry my grief and love together.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I've learned to honor my grief, which means that I tell myself it mattered. Like I matter, my child mattered. And that means celebrating, their birthdays, saying his name and, just understanding that I can have joy and I don't have to feel bad about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because I think you as somebody with grief, I have intense joy now. Not even just like, oh, I'm happy. Like when I'm happy, I'm super happy because I understand what it is to be so sad. I
Mm.
appreciate, the gratitude that I have because I know that tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
I live that. And, you just live every day to your fullest because I'm telling you right now, your life can change in a split second. And the things that bother you, it's not a big deal.
Mm.
It's really not.
Say that again, man. Say
Okay.
that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if your barista didn't make your coffee right, trust me, that's not the end of the world. Like after the day I had, watching my son die in the emergency room, I realized like, if I can get through that day, like I can overcome almost anything. You know?
Yeah.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
We're gonna take a break and get a word from our partners. We'll be right back.
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splinth Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplint.com. Splinth, the brand you need to succeed.
In a world full of noise, N Sound Media delivers voices that matter. From podcasts that challenge and inspire, to streaming TV that uplifts and informs, to music and stories you won't hear anywhere else. This is media built for community, culture, and truth. Independent, bold, unfiltered. Streaming worldwide and growing every day. Download, listen, watch. Join the movement that puts real voices front and center. And Sound Media, streaming innovation amplified.
Hello, my name is Nicky Mason, and I want to share with you my journey with Noreen Daly in my communication coaching sessions. As I went through the sessions with Noreen, I was able to recognize my strengths in communication. Some things I didn't recognize that I would do, she was able to unearth and allow me to recognize that these are some strengths that I had. I did have some weaknesses which I was challenged to overcome through research, reviewing other public speakers, and being able to sit before a camera and to speak to an audience, an invisible audience. It was fun, and as a coach, she was patient and she gave good feedback, and she was able to give me the insight into communication as to how to best use my skills, my natural communication strengths to be engaging as a speaker. And I would recommend anybody who seeks to become a more competent communicator to enroll in her program. Reach out to her, and I believe you're going to enjoy the journey as much as I did. Thanks.
Let's continue the conversation.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Face to face, we set the pace. Love so strong, no need to race.
Why is it has to take something drastic like death for people to recognize that we really don't need to be sweating the small stuff, because a lot of the things are small stuff.
I think we get comfortable and spoiled in life. I think we don't appreciate things that we have. I think I had a beautiful life prior to what happened to me. I mean, I'm a dentist. Like, I had a very good career. I lost my career as a result of losing my son. I don't practice dentistry anymore. I had to realign my life. I decided that I'm not going to lay in my deathbed wishing I had done one more root canal.
Wow. Wow.
I decided that my time was more valuable, and I have a 13-year-old now, and I wanted to spend that moment, even though he's a grouchy teenager. I don't care. I'm going to be present in his life because I'm not going to get those years back with him. And I decided that, yeah, it's a perspective, right? You have to live in alignment now. I turned my grief into purpose. Okay. You turn your pain into purpose. Now I have a community of parents I serve. I open up my house twice a month, and it's a sacred place, right? Because I'm witnessing their grief. I'm so honored to be in their presence that they're letting me into that space. When you sit with someone who's had a huge loss, that's a sacred moment.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody who is experiencing grief right now, and there are people around them with the best of intentions are trying to fix their pain?
I've lost so many friends because of this. And people say the most horrific stuff, like you wouldn't even imagine. And even recently, I was at a Special Olympics. I was giving out awards. I'm actually the local beauty queen in my community, so I'm out there, doing stuff. And this, and I talked about my platform, which is this. My platform I didn't go looking for my platform. My platform came to me, and I feel like it's a calling at this point in my life, right? And this gentleman said to me, I was talking about my platform, and he said, "Well, you just need to get over it." And I used to get angry about that, but now I don't. I've decided that this person is not educated,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's just trying to approach with my actions more than, trying to reproach that, because it doesn't matter if their heart is closed and they're not willing to see that, right? And I guess if I were to tell somebody in the early stages of their grief, I would say
Mm-hmm.
feel every aspect of that journey, because if
Yeah.
you suppress that, it will come back in an unhealthy way. Like, you need support. I felt like I didn't need support. I did this journey alone for 8 years because, one, there was such a high cultural stigma around it. I'm South Korean, and our culture is, our way of dealing with grief in Korean society is, we are very high in Confucius culture, where there's filial piety, and having that grief meant holding your dignity. That meant you did
Mm.
it silently. So
Okay.
for me to be open about my grief, but when I'm at my meeting and I am very vulnerable and I'm open about my grief, but at the same time I'm trying to hold myself back a bit because of my upbringing, it's almost like East meets West. So it
Mm.
puts me in a different situation, but I feel like the grief didn't make me stronger. I feel like it made me a deeper person. And I tell the
Interesting.
parents that the pain won't always be this sharp. I promise them that, because the pain is always going to be there, because the love is always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like having a scar, right? When you do surgery, the scar is so angry in the beginning. It's just ugly. But as years go on, that scar changes, it transforms, it becomes softer, but it's
Yeah.
always going to be there. And
Yeah.
I feel that is how it is with grief.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. For you said earlier that for the person who is coming to, offer some sort of comfort, sit with the person.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you would say to somebody who's coming to offer some sort of comfort to somebody experiencing grief?
I would say, like, don't offer something to fix them,
Okay.
because honestly, even the greatest mind cannot touch a bleeding heart. The
Mm.
only thing that can touch a bleeding heart is really love and hope and faith. And if they can just remember that, if you can just love that person in that moment, that's the thing that's going to touch them. It won't be words.
Mm. Mm. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Anything, I think that's an excellent note to end on, but anything else you want to share before we
No,
conclude?
I appreciate, I thank you for, having me as your guest. My hope is that parents who are listening out there, people who are grieving, I really hope that they understand that there's not just despair. You are the light. Take that love and as light within you and spread it to other people. Don't be the brightest burning candle, but be the candle that you're going to light other people and brighten the entire room and burn for a long, long time.
Mm. Love it, love it, love it, love it,
So
love it, love it, love
that's
it.
the message that I want to pass out. And if I offer Zoom as well, it's a hybrid meeting. So if somebody wants to jump in on my meeting, I offer it twice a month. It's on my Facebook. If you find me, Dr. Jane O, the information's there. I have a website for this meeting, so it's always updated and posted regularly. So
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to meet you. And if you're ever in Seattle, please give me a call, okay?
All right. This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.